Today's webinar is part of a broader series of programming around the IRA that CSC launched in 2023, with the goal of convening experts, advocates, survivors, and caregivers for discussions about the need to ensure that drug negotiations in Medicare include input and perspectives from those who will be most impacted.
CSC got involved around the implementation and rollout of the program because we recognize how important it is to protect and promote patient, survivor, and caregiver perspectives when it comes to access to prescription medications, particularly for complex conditions like cancer.
Leukemia was the last thing out of my mind that I could ever possibly have had. I really, at that point, didn't have any symptoms. I was feeling well. I had just gotten off a golf course playing in 104 degrees, 18 holes, walking, and I couldn't believe that somebody was telling me that I was this sick.
Through the patient-centered lens, we all bring many therapeutic area and identity lenses to this IRA drug price negotiation paradigm. Oncology, sex, gender, cardiology, race, rheumatology, LGBTQ plus identity, geography of residence, endocrinology, neurology, ethnicity, psychiatry, to name a few. The point is that I'm making here is that we all have overlapping layers of identity that are too readily translated into and can be codified into disparities, inequalities, and inequity.
I came home with 31 pills that I needed to take. They learned how to do infusions, and it was, needless to say, the most difficult, heartbreaking experience I had to endure. And really not as concerned about my life for myself, but to have my young children, have to bear that burden was heartbreaking.
There needs to be sort of an ongoing engagement process throughout the life of this program to make sure that to the extent that there are any access challenges presented to patients, that CMS is learning about it and understanding it in real time, and that we're not addressing it years later when too many patients have been impacted.
What might be valuable to someone, person A, that drug may have a different, or that value to that drug may be different or present differently to person B. But both perspectives are important. Their feedback are important and should be considered in that process.
What the equal value life year gain measure does is it doesn't have the discriminatory element in life extension, but it also doesn't value quality of life improvements. So you're sort of making this trade-off. You're gonna value then treatments that extend life, but not necessarily treatments that improve quality of life. And what we've found is that with almost all of these measures, there are those kinds of trade-offs. You're either valuing disability more and then more common conditions less, or life extension more and quality of life less. So there's really no one-size-fits-all type of value measure that could be used that would represent all people, because they all kind of come with trade-offs.
CMS is not enabling through any of its processes, through the guidance, it is not enabling valued input from the beneficiaries, who are, in our view, their primary audience. It is their reason for existing. And we need to help them remember that as they move forward.